Hi, my name's Hannah and I'm a marine client advisor at Hayes Parsons. I decided to work in insurance mainly because when I finished studying, I actually wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I originally was looking at maybe accounting or finance, and then my dad actually worked in insurance and it was him that suggested it to me. So my first job in insurance was in a call centre doing personal lines insurance, and it's kind of just gone from there. I've had a lot of role models and mentors throughout the time that I've been in the industry. In the call centre, there was a lot of female-based operations directors and team leaders, and a lot of them took me under their wing and kind of guided me through. And then now I'm at Hayes Parsons and in the marine team, I found that a lot of the team that I work with do mentor and coach me. It's both women and men. So I've got Darren, who is the marine director, and then I've also got Laura and Sarah, who also directly help me and coach me through things when I get stuck. So my job at Hayes Parsons is a marine client advisor. So essentially I'm responsible for the broking of existing and new marine clients and all of the tasks that come around that. So if one of my colleagues will go to a meeting, it's then my job to take the meeting notes and then put that into insurance form. I also do all of the less exciting stuff like the invoicing, the paperwork and the documentation, but a lot of my job is collaboration based. So whether it's dealing with a colleague or if it's dealing with an insurer, I just need to make sure that the end result is good across the board for not just us but also the client. My biggest accomplishment in my career is probably going from a role in a call centre, which was non-advised car and home insurance, to then getting where I am now, sort of over 10 years in the industry, and now being able to advise and going from personal lines to not just commercial but marine commercial. So I think for me to go from sort of one client to now larger clients, I think that for me is something I'm the most proud of in my career. I think the biggest challenge for me was going from personal lines, which was non-advised, to then having to go from a big jump in my career and making sure that I'm confident in what I'm doing. So going from car and home insurance to marine insurance was a big step up for me. So I think it was making sure that I took the time to learn about what I was doing, asking the right questions, and also just having a bit of more confidence in myself. So it was a real challenge for me to begin with, to go from, less of a client to what I am now. And it was also just making sure that I had the right people around me. So I'm obviously glad that Hayes Parsons have helped me grow and develop in that area. I think the most rewarding part of my job as a client advisor is that my role does play a big part. So for me, what I like to do is I like working with clients and also colleagues to then get an end result. Sometimes it can just seem like it's some information on paper about risk information, but then actually being able to make it easier and understandable to a client is really important. I also just like knowing then that I'm working with a team and that we can just work together and make the process as easy and quick as possible. I think the skills that have helped me most in this industry is being really determined and also being really honest. I think that you have to be realistic, that you're not going to be perfect at something from day one. So I think the most important skills for me that I try to work on is not focusing so much on being perfect, but looking at mistakes as a way to learn. When you're newer in the industry and you make a mistake, it seems like the biggest thing in the world, but the more you're doing it, the more you can actually step away from it and realise that if I'm making mistakes, as long as I learn from them and I spot them, that then I can actually keep growing moving forward. So taking risks and then being able to fix mistakes as well. I think my biggest advice for a woman going into insurance is to not doubt yourself or be afraid. There's some sort of preconceptions about the industry, but particularly in the marine industry, there is space for women. I find, if anything, because we might give a different perspective or opinion on things, that actually it gives us more value. So I think even if you think that it might not be for you, there is elements to it that will still suit you. So you don't necessarily have to have been in that industry before. As long as you're logical, you're analytical, and you want to do well, most of the time clients and colleagues will be able to help you get there. I think the biggest misconception to me about insurance is that it's just sales. Yes, you know, there is a sales element and that is an element of the business, but there is also more than just one path. It's never boring that you're dealing with the same screen, the same numbers day in, day out, and it does actually get you thinking. I think also there's a bit of a misconception that it's just around numbers, figures, and risk. It can also be sometimes social as well. So a lot of my job, although it might seem like I'm just looking at a screen, I am still speaking with insurers, going to events, and you can then tailor it to what you want to do. So although you are dealing with a risk and a client at the end of the day, there is still lots of routes and ways that you can keep yourself busy and challenged in a fun way. I think the thing that excites me the most about insurance is seeing the talent and the technology that's coming in. I mean, when I started 13 years ago, there wasn't as much technology. Everything was still paper-based, whereas now we're seeing a lot more AI. We're also seeing a lot of really talented young people coming through. So I think for me, I'm really excited then, particularly in the marine industry, to see more younger people come into the industry, because that's what we need at the end of the day.